we finally get Spider-Verse, and
Yep.
they're talking about this movie opening 3 times more than the original opening of
Yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse. So Across the Spider-Verse can make 3 times as much money for that first weekend as the first Into the Spider-Verse. I thought
Yeah.
that was amazing.
I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's also like the first one didn't make that much money, so it's kind of like
3 times as much as a lot.
three times. But I mean, it didn't do well at all. Like in the theater, it did well.
How much
later.
did it make box office?
I don't know, nothing crazy. I think once it hit streaming and hit the shelves, that's when it really picked up. I think. Because I remember I didn't go to the theater to see it, and I regret it.
Oh no,
I regret it.
I remember seeing it. Into the Spider-Verse made $384 million.
Okay.
Yeah, so it made a lot of money. It opened to $35.6 million domestically, and they're saying it could definitely hit $100 million this first weekend. The first weekend of it is going to make over $100 million.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn good for an animated movie.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine this movie making and what 600, 700, 800 million dollars?
Yeah, easy.
I could.
Yeah. People are talking about like the first one. No one was talking about at all.
Because really, it's Sony, and no one knew about it. It was like, what the hell is this?
Also, Sony had a really bad track record of making bad superhero, bad Spider-Man movies. Probably since because the Andrew Garfield ones never were well received. Mm-hmm. So I would say Spider-Man 2 was probably the last one that people loved, and that's probably one of the best comic book movies ever.
Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man movie. And this is right next to it. Into the Spider-Verse is my second favorite Spider-Man movie.
I think it's number one by far. Like it
really, you think it's better than Spider-Man 2? Because I love Spider-Man 2, man.
Yeah, this one was by far because it also has Spider-Man Peter Parker, but then it has the new character with Miles, well, new-ish, with Miles, and his story is just so much more. In like intriguing with it,
it's
I don't
different. Know. And I think that's what this whole thing about Cross the Spider-Verse is going to be. His is different than anyone else's tale. He didn't lose people like that. He's never had to make those type of choices. I think this is going to be amazing. The runtime of 2 hours and 2 hours and 28 minutes or something like that does not scare me because I think this is going to be an unbelievable story. And having characters that we've always saw in the comic books, like I grab comic books every week, right? And all the Spider-Man movies comic books are always there, and it's always the characters that you never see anywhere else. We're gonna have all of them. They're going to bring all of them in, and I think that's ingenious, and I love it. I can't wait.
Yeah. You got anything on it, Brandon?
No, just really excited for it. I love the first Spider-Verse movie a lot more than I expected to. It was really a breath of fresh air, and as a Spider-Man fan, it was really cool to see Miles Morales. I like that, we knew, guys like us knew who Miles Morales was, way before, like the mass audiences did, or people that aren't as familiar with comic books as we are. So it was nice to see that. I like it's a good companion piece to the live action movies we're getting. And it's good to see Miles Morales get shine. I like the animation style. I think that's really cool. I like the idea of the Spider-Verse. I like that we're gonna, it looks like the Spider-Verse is gonna get blown wide open in this one, which I think is cool. I love that we're gonna get Spider-Punk with Daniel Kaluuya voicing him. I can't wait to see him in action. Spider-Man India. That's going to be cool. Like I'm just really excited. It's probably going to be it's probably going to be a 3D watch for me because I had a lot of fun with the first one in 3D.
Yeah. Especially with the animation. That
animation. Yeah, it
perfect for it.
I really enjoyed that animation, and it kind of I think it kind of set a new standard for animation because even that new TMNT movie seems like it's taken a cue from it. Like I said, it looks
I would almost be afraid to put a movie out if I didn't do a good job, because if standing next to that movie, you look that much worse. You know, like standing next to someone who's really pretty, you look much uglier. So, like, that's how it will be. Like, you know, I mean, understand that. So this first movie, the critics gave it a 97% and the audience gave it 93%. I think people are talking like this. The next movie, Across the Spider-Verse, is going to beat these numbers, and that's nuts to me. I mean, having a movie that's loved that much, crazy.
The only thing I could see it being lower is because I don't know if people expect it to be part one, because it is a part one. It was originally supposed to be a two-parter, and then they changed the name, which I think are going to throw people off. So when this one ends on a cliffhanger, and I don't know if that's spoiling, because I have no idea how it ends, but I guarantee almost 100% this is going to be a cliffhanger, and then I think next year, I think 24, I think it's supposed to be the next one, or early like 25.
I think it's 24.
I think it's 24 though. Yeah. But I think that's be the only thing that would drop it down, is like, oh, I'm pissed because the story didn't end. It didn't have a finish.
If it does an Infinity War type of thing, I think it'll be okay. Like,
Infinity War, like Empire Strikes Back.
Something happens, like someone wins, and now we have to go and avenge. Because really, what it is so we got Across the Spider-Verse, and then we got Beyond the Spider-Verse, right? That's ingenious, to me. I mean, Beyond the Spider-Verse. So the Spider-Verse is going to be broken, and then now what happens after it's broken? Is it broken because Miles does not conform to everybody else? You don't have someone who's like everyone else. You have someone who's totally different. Yeah. And if he breaks it, that's okay. If he's leave a movie theater and he's left broken, and then the next part is about, how do I move on past it? How do we reconcile these things?
Yeah. I just don't see how, if this does well and the next one does well, because it's gonna be a part one, part two, and if this one does well, then for sure the next one's gonna even do even better.
Yeah.
How do you end with just three? Like, do you
know what you
start doing more and more and more? Like,
no, you know what you do. You know what you do, right?
Yeah, but
you bring them in live action. You bring Miles Morales to live action, and I think that's what you have to do. That's the one thing I saw. I think I was watching Plan Fanatics, and that's something that Darius said. I was like, that makes so much sense. I never thought about bringing it from that, bringing that movie into Secret Wars. Like, I never thought that would be a good idea, but I can see it happen. I can see a Battle World Earth and Miles Morales is introduced there. That would be interesting. Yeah,
that would be pretty interesting. I don't know if
the timing matches up. It does match up.
Timing, yeah. I mean, and then you can do a bunch of different stuff with like time, different timelines and stuff like that. But I don't know if Sony wants to share another character. Or not Sony. Oh, Sony wants to share. They're like, yeah. Make our character more popular. But Marvel not willing to, like. Why am I going to put work into it?
Because he's the obvious thing that they need. Marvel has a minority problem.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They have a minority problem, and I'm not huge on what Chillmonger says for everything. Like you have to have all black characters for everything. I don't think that I want to put us into that one box. I think we should be able to do any character, but black characters do matter.
When it comes to race swapping.
Yeah, race swapping. But I think black characters do matter a lot, and you need to have that to bring that part of the audience in. And losing Chadwick is huge, and not recasting T'Challa is huge. So you don't have that character that's that strong character that's going to bring in a big part of your audience.
Yeah,
and Miles Morales is, you almost get two in one blow. Come on, man.
Puerto Rican and a black
people at the same time. Come on, man.
That makes me kind of interesting because right now, because also America Chavez is also Puerto Rican. So that'd be kind of cool. Just imagine like them two like singing like "What's Up" or something like but in like Spanish, like like how many people would get pissed off like, this is America. It's like we're in a whole different planet in a fake universe. Shut up.
I don't think. I don't think that might. I mean, because
That'd be cool though.
That's what they
I
did.
can see
Even
them.
I think that's the character they need. They need something like that because Tom Holland is not going to be, around forever. And you have another young kid.
Younger, really supposed to be younger, but
yeah. But if you bring him in and you can have him at 15, 14 in 3 years. We talking about that. We could have the little kid that did the Crater.
I was just gonna say that.
Isaiah Russell Bailey. We can use him. He'll look great as that. So
yeah, he's super young. He was very, very well talented. Oh, real quick, did you see the Crater or did you see Crater, Brandon, or no?
I saw some of it
on Disney Plus because I wouldn't mind doing a review about that. I put it up because Brian told us like, "Oh, watch it." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I saw like the first half of it and really enjoyed it. I just got to finish it up.
The second half
is the best part.
Is damn, yeah.
It's definitely the best part.
There's a part that happens, and I'm like, no, why? like legit. And I was just like it hit me. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, it's
got my boy Cuddy in it,
Yeah, Kid Cudi, and he did a big part of it. He was huge in it, and him being a father was all very awesome.
Yeah, I love me some Kid Cudi. I love Cuddy.
Yeah,
he's the man.
Yeah. But yeah, I can see it real quick before I get to some of these comments. It says Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. I'm sorry, get them all confused now. So the first one won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, which I think well deserved. But it was the first non-Pixar film to do so since 2011. That's crazy.
I believe it. It blew my mind. I remember walking out of the theater and I was like, what the hell did I just see?
Right. It was just, and originally I saw, when I heard about it, I saw the trailers, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, another Spider-Man movie. It's Spider-Man. I'm going to see it regardless. And then I was just blown clear out of the water. And I still watch it with that same kind of,
every time
walk away with that feeling of joy from that I had from the first time I watched it.
Yeah. Yeah, like my girlfriend doesn't like.
I think I can enjoy it more.
Oh yeah, every time you watch it, well, because every time you watch it, you kind of notice different things and like the backgrounds. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't notice that's what they do with the backgrounds. Like it's cool with the animation style, but
even the story because Miles Morales losing his uncle and him feeling responsible, his uncle trying to save him, no matter what. That idea of family was so strong in that movie. His father, how he was hurt when he lost his brother. All those things were just so well done, and I loved seeing it. It was just, it's just a well done movie, well rounded movie, and it was it was like an original. It wasn't something that was done with someone else's vision in mind. They had their own vision, and they completed the vision, and I love those type of movies.
Yeah, they ran with it. So like Erica's not a big Peter Parker Spider-Man fan, so that's why we probably didn't go, because she saw Spider-Man. She's like, I really don't care for Spider-Man. And then once we saw it, I don't know if she knew who Miles was before or not. But after this, she just loves Miles. I'm like, because he's really the video game. I know that we got a comment about that. I'll bring it up in a second. But the video game is great with his story. Then so yeah, this one we got tickets already. Like I said,
we did too.
Opening weekend for sure.
Yeah, I gotta get one.
Yeah. Get it soon, because I can see it really kind of.
My theater's already full.
Is it? Yeah.
My theater's already.
I gotta check mine, because I got mine like that when it first announced the tickets.